Today we have an eminent professor of commerce and business management, Professor Dr. N. Nagaraja sir. He is in the Department of Commerce, University of Mysore. Dr. Nagaraj sir has completed his master's degree in commerce from the University of Mysore in the year 1996 with the highest distinction. He has specialized in finance and has been teaching financial management for the past 2.5 decades. I think sir has quit. Am I right? Sir quit adala?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let us wait. He is in the department. So in the Gangotri, there is a problem. Connectivity is the problem. Biggest problem in Gangotri. Just wait another 1 or 2 minutes. Sir, just I was introducing you, sir, to our teacher participants. Just I have started. So, Dr. As I told, Dr. Nagaraj sir has did his masters in commerce in the year 1996 in the University of Mysore, and he's specialized in finance and has been teaching financial management for the past 2.5 decades. Professor Nagaraj sir has started teaching finance and for graduate students subjects such as investment management, portfolio management, capital markets, and other many more. His areas of interest include advanced management and cost accounting. Matter of today, sir is going to talk about environmental accounting. Professor Nagaraj sir is having a very lengthy academic qualifications. Just I read out all those things. Diploma in business administration, PG diploma in business administration, PG diploma in financial management, MA in economics, MCom, MBA, PhD in business administrations. Oh my God! I started teaching in the University of Mysore in the year 1996. Later in the year 2003, selected as senior lecturer in the offshore campus of the International University Knowledge Village, that is in Dubai, UAE. Dr. Nagaraj sir has promoted as academic dean in the same institute in Dubai. Presently, Dr. Nagaraj sir is serving as professor in the Department of Studies in Commerce, University of Mysore, and heading various academic bodies of universities across South India. Under the guidance of Dr. Nagaraj sir, 19 students have been successfully complete their PhD degrees. At present, 8 students are working for their PhD degrees. Professor Nagaraj sir has visited various universities in India and abroad. To name few of them, Gulf universities like United Arab Emirates, Sultanate of Oman, Kingdom of Bahrain, Iran, and many more. And recently, Nagaraj sir also visited America to chair a conference session, and he is a well-known professor of commerce and accounting and financial management, and he's a great resource person for the many institutions and within India and outside the India. So having the rich experience of both teaching and research, always Professor Nagaraj sir is an source of inspiration for us. And today we are having professor for this afternoon session. When I have asked, he told me, shall I talk about the accounting, environmental accounting? Aptly, it is very suitable, sir. I told him because the team is itself is a sustainable development. Accounting, that too particularly environmental accounting, it's the area where lot of difficulties are there. How can we account the environment? So in the previous sessions, our Bhupati sir was talking about the evaluation of natural resources. So accounting, that too environmental accounting, is the area which is very difficult. And today we are lucky that Professor Nagaraja sir is going to talk about environmental accounting. I hope you will enjoy the class and you will be immensely benefited. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation. I wholeheartedly welcoming you, sir, on behalf of HRDC Mysore and on behalf of our dear teacher participants and my own behalf. Welcome you, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for your wonderful words and wonderful introduction, Professor Prem Kumar. It's my pleasure to associate with you regarding this, especially with the teachers. Okay. So once again, I welcome all of you for this session. Perhaps you have been talking about economics ever since you joined post-graduation. As teachers of commerce, management, business, we have visualized different dimensions of economics. We talk about the market, fundamentals of market, production, selling, cost of production, cost of distribution, and so many things we have been talking about and we are teaching to our students. No doubt they are raising to the occasion and in computing something, evaluating the cost, ascertaining the cost of the product which has been manufactured by us, or the cost at which we are distributing. All these fundamentals, we are all familiar with that, no doubt about it. But at this juncture, all of us, whether irrespective of the subject you are from, and I am from, or anybody from, whether they are into science stream or commerce stream or art stream or even engineering stream for that matter, there is a concern for us. All of us must have a great degree of concern towards the environment in which we are living in. The environment which we have seen earlier, or rather when we have seen in our college days, school days, is entirely different from the environment which you are visualizing right now. So that has made me to take up a subject related to environmental accounting, because you have to understand, as teachers we are much more responsible in understanding this one. Before commencing what exactly environmental accounting, what are the challenges that we encounter, we should know certain basic aspects where we are living in, what kind of environment we are living in. It is not an exaggeration if I say the waste that we are generating as on today is 2.1 billion tons. Which to manage that, to transport that waste, we need 24 times of the whole world. That is what the garbage that we are generating. At what cost we are generating, we are not accounted. We are not accountable so far. So 24 times of the globe or the world is not sufficient even to fill this means. You just imagine how many people have been affected. Roughly around 65 million people have been affected with this. If you have seen the production units, plants, most of the plants in and around Mysore, which you see, best example is Nanjangud, where we are living in. Most of the industries are located there nearby. So it is very easy for them to, pump their effluents to Kabini River, Kapila River. At what cost they are doing it? What is the impact of this kind of, a pollution which they are causing? Are we not responsible for this havoc which we are creating? These are all the million-dollar questions we have to encounter and we have to answer before we preach something. So therefore, it is not financial accounting, it is not the cost accounting, it is not even to the extent of human resource accounting which we are dealing with. It is the accountability and the accounting aspects which is related to environment, how we are spoiling, at what rate we are degenerating, or spoiling the environment. We should be able to encounter that and understand at least the impact. Forget about the solution. Solution is the second aspect. But we should evaluate the volume of damages that we are causing to this environment. So therefore, I initiated this. So earlier, as per the statistics, whereas in the early 80s, we are using, as manufacturers, producers, we are using just 40 billion tons of resources or raw materials. Today, almost we have used 2 times of the same resources. So you just imagine what is the speed, the rate at which we are, the rate of deforestation is taking place at least. So what is the impact of all these usage? Earlier, if you remember your school days, there is nothing like plastic bag or plastic cover to carry the things. We used to, carry our own handbags, cotton-made bags. So we feel ourselves somewhat shy in carrying those things. It's very comfortable to dispose of the plastic bags, the containers, without knowing the reality, what is going to happen with that. So therefore, there is a dire need for us to understand a system of environmental economic accounting, not just environmental accounting. Environmental economic accounting is a need of the hour. We should understand at this point of time. So another example I can give you. Every year, every day, we are spoiling or afforesting only to 10 fraction of a percentage we are afforestation rate, whereas deforestation is 300 acres per day. 300 acres per day all over the globe, all over the world. You just compare the ratio between the afforestation and the deforestation, and you will come to know the impact of it. And the timber, what we are using, right from the tissue papers which we are using and throwing, since that from that point till the plastic what we are disposing of. So we are, as teachers, as research scholars or researchers, we have at least the moral obligation to contain this kind of damages or the havoc which we are causing to the society. So therefore, the whole of Pacific Ocean is filled with 30% of the plastic, which you can't imagine what is the rate at which we are spoiling. So the trash, it is filled with the trash, it's filled with the plastic, filled with the tin and other malicious effluents, what they are dumping to the rivers and the oceans, which are free of cost. So therefore, this is a very, very important topic. I personally believe, and I expect you also to be very concerned about this kind of phenomena we're witnessing at this juncture. So if you evaluate and study exactly the status of the Pacific Ocean, the volume of the plastic what we find in the Pacific Ocean is much, much more than the volume of the fish in the Pacific Ocean. So this itself is enough to understand the level of damages that we are causing. So we talk about valuation in economic sense or in accounting sense. We talk about valuation of our fixed assets, physical assets, financial assets, and other things which are movable. But we never ever bothered about valuing our own ecosystem. Though we are damaging it, we never bothered about what are the impact of that in terms of monetary units, or we never made an attempt to quantify the damages that we are causing to the ecology, we are causing to the forest resources, we are causing to the water resources. So therefore, there is a need for us to measure the global economic output and the damages that we are causing. So this would be around $125 trillion if somebody take it very seriously and evaluate properly. The rate at which we are spoiling our resources is $125 trillion in terms of monetary value. And amount of carbon emissions we are creating, we just can't understand. Best example, one more example related to this is, we're all fancied with our costumes, the dress materials, what we use. So we might, as men, we are familiar with the jeans, expand what we are using. So it might cost 1,000 rupees, 2,000, at the most 3,000 rupees. But the volume of water which is used to manufacture one jeans pant or 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter fabric, if not the pant, at least the fabric is 100 times more than the price of that if you value it. So similarly, the other prevailing products, what they are using it in our own country, maybe Pepsi or Coca-Cola. So they're all underground waters, our own groundwater in different shades and different colors. They are pumped from the groundwater, added with some colors in the taste and different shades, and filled it in the plastic trash cans and sold it in the Indian market. And with the dignity and the pride, we are consuming that. And we are throwing those things to our own yard. Whereas these multinationals, maybe American companies, they're minting money out of it. It is the underground water of India. People are India, market is Indian. And the scrap is also, they're leaving it in India. How to account that? 1 liter, if Pepsi is orange, Coke is also orange. Pepsi is brown, Coke is also brown. One is Aquafina, other one is Kinley. And they become the arch rivals, and they're selling, trying to push everything to this market. So what is going to happen? As Indian, we are consuming it. It has become part and parcel of our own lifestyle. On the other hand, if there is a tender coconut, if there is a seller in the footpath, we might not, the population, especially younger generation, they prefer to have a Pepsi or a Coke rather than having tender coconut, which we have seen in our life. We have seen every day, we are seeing from the mindset of our own student community. So therefore, if we consume our own naturally available product, we can eliminate all these things which are damaging, causing havoc to the existing phenomena, especially with in relation with the environment. So therefore, how to account all these aspects? We might have consumed Pepsi or Coke or any other container for that matter. We might become trash. How to manage this trash? So Bangalore is the best example. That is a mafia which is undergoing, especially with the the trash what they are dealing. So of late, the government insisted that the treating and the grading this effluents or the trash or the products and the end use, whatever we use and we throw it, how to treat this, it is $1 million question. Whereas Hyderabad, they are generating electricity out of that by spending 1,000 crore, which is sufficient to feed or they supply the entire power requirement of Hyderabad city out of the trash that they are generating, the waste that they're generating, any waste for that matter, they're segregating and they're generating electricity. So we are trying to become much more conscious about these things, whereas in Karnataka, still initiation has been not so conducive, and we are also planning to do something like that. So therefore, there is a dire need. Every example will be related to the issues related to environment technology. So when you are consuming 1 liter Pepsi or 600 ml Pepsi, how do you account that? What kind of damage they are giving or causing to the society or to the environment? There's only one example. Every day we are fancy and we are fond of having the refilled waters, filled water with either Aquafina or Pepsi or Bisleri. So 1 liter water, you are quenching your thirst, but you are filling that the society, I mean the ecology, environment, the globe, the Mother Earth, with this plastic, the life of the plastic. So these are all very, very conscious aspects one must have before using these things. So at this level, we should be in a position to communicate to our own younger generation, our own students, the bad impact of all these things on our own ecology. So therefore, there are scholars, they are trying to contribute something in determining the damages, the loss that we are causing to our own Mother Earth. So that is one of the initiative. taken by the scholars, eminent scholars in computing the issues related to environmental accounting. So when we come to the environmental accounting specifically, right now we don't have any specified current accounting practices. So though there are legislation, a gaggle of legislation enacted in the interest of the protection of the environment, though there are so many legislations enacted, we are not in a position to meet the 100% result out of that. Though there are voluntary organizations which are taking the responsibility towards the society in the form of CSR initiative, yet they are not in a position to attain a milestone. So these are all the challenges which we are going to come. So as there is no specified or the existing accounting mechanism, so we have to adopt something. What is the input? What is the output? What is the damage that we are causing to our own environment is also one of the important things which we have to publish in our books of accounts, which we are not doing. We just calculate the cost, we calculate the benefit, or rather the price, the difference between the cost and the price, we compute it as a profit, maybe in notional profit or a net profit, without knowing the impact of the damage that we have caused. So therefore, it requires a different style of accounting, different form of recording all these damages that we are causing to the environment or to the society. So material definitely we are using. The flow cost we are preparing. At every juncture, what is the labor cost, material cost, overhead. But we never ever bothered about computing the overheads, apart from the overheads, the impact that we have caused to the environment. That is a glaring inconsistency in the existing system. Investment decisions are often taken with the input and the output, the profit, the revenue not we are going to generate, the market leadership that we are going to acquire, the brand leadership that we are going to acquire. But we are not understanding what is the damage at that point we are causing. So that is also one of the limitations, because it is so far it is only a voluntary disclosure practices. They're not made compulsory. So therefore, they are taking a shelter on these under these legislations. As long as we are not in a position to make it mandatory disclosure practices for all these things in their final books of accounts, the published books of accounts, definitely most of the manufacturers, certainly they don't come forward on their own to record these things. So that is a major aspect what we are witnessing. And there are no specified practices for environmental auditing. That is also a tragedy. So it's only hit and run case. You have the raw material, convert the raw material, finish it and sell it and encash it and make the profit as early as soon as possible. That is what the tendency that most of the manufacturers are doing it. So they are not shown any inclination or concern towards the environment. So therefore, as accountants, as practitioners, as preachers, as teachers or professors, we should be in a position to claim that certain information, certain vital information must be disclosed in their financial statements. That is, the companies must be in a position to specify and mention what are the impact, what is the exact impact, or what is the might that they're causing to the damages of the environment. So that has to be looked into and they should disclose that. And it's also government should be in a position to mandate that certain disclosure practices, the corporates must have some policies. They should also specify the narrative disclosure practices. They should narrate it, how much is the benefit that they derived by using the existing natural resources. So quantitative aspects of disclosures which are causing the great impact on the environment is not mandated. So therefore, they are taking this shelter. So therefore, definitely there is a need for all of us to have an environmental audit. So environmental audit should start from the point of the design of the industrial plan, industrial layout, and from the point of management of the resources. So now for the layout design, how they are managing the resources, how they are outsourcing the resources, what is their input, what is their output, what is the damage in terms of wastage that they're causing to the environment should be identified and computed and quantified. And what is the result of such process on the pollution? And what is the pollution control mechanism that they are having? And the emergence of safety arrangement which they are adopting is also one of the important areas of environmental audit. So most of the time, all these things, though they are mentioned in their the mission statements and the goals and the visions, they are not practicing in real terms. So there is no industrial hygiene. There is no occupational health measures that they're prescribing. What are the hazards they're coming across, the employees are coming across, they're not understanding. They need a job, they need some laborers, they are paying for it, finished, they are finishing their task. So still we are in that stage, we are not providing appropriate information. There is a lot of assimilation of information which they are not practicing in reporting system. That is also very important and damaging aspect. So therefore, it is a mandatory aspect that there must be an environmental audit, which it should be made mandatory for these corporate organizations. Then only it is possible. I personally believe, and there are authors who have contributed for this. So now, how to initiate this kind of accounting practice? That is another system, another question that immediately triggers in our mind. These days, in the global world, in the marketing world, corporate world, we talk about green accounting, green marketing. So they use the prefix green for everything. So what is that green? What is the impact of that green? For instance, many corporate banks, they say we don't send you the statement, we don't send you the printed copies of your passbook or other things. It is a green initiative by HDFC Bank or Kotak Mahindra Bank, something like that. So that means these companies, they started disclosing how many trees they are saving by not sending the hard copies of the statements. So it is one of the initiatives. Some of these companies, they come on their own. It is not a mandatory requirement. They say it is a green initiative taken by them. So therefore, when it is green marketing, they say green accounting, they say it is related to environmental accounting only. All these things can be referred as green accounting, green audit, or green marketing. They're all the integrated aspects of environmental accounting. So therefore, this system must be made it mandatory for all the manufacturers or all the trading concerns of a specified cap. Then only it is possible for us to have some milestones in this. So we should also insist on the cost benefit analysis. What are the natural resources that the manufacturing company is using, and what is the end result of it, and what is the probable outcome or the damage that they're causing, maybe directly or indirectly, may not be directly also most of the times. For instance, Nanjangud is the very best example for people who are living in Mysore. Most of the industries are located, and Nestle is located there. They are treating the coffee plant. They have the coffee plant. They treat the manufacture that, and the treated water is simply pumped into Kabini River. So many people are directly consuming that water. Many cattle, domestic affairs, they're using the water directly. So though they pay a few hundreds of thousands rupees for this one as a regular penalty or a tax or something like that, they are not directly accountable for the health hazards that cause to the domestic people or the local people or the cattle in which they are using it. So therefore, we should make it mandatory that what is the cost of using all these resources and what is the benefit to the society. Yeah, they may claim that the society is getting a lot of benefits. We are creating employment, we are generating employment, we are supplying the raw materials and all these things. But at what cost? That is also a very important thing. So whether the cost itself is much more than the benefit what the society is deriving, then it is again a foolish venture that they initiated. So therefore, to start this kind of accounting, this system of accounting, we need something unique mechanism of computing and quantifying, unlike the traditional accounting or the traditional accounting principle using debit and credit, all these things. So it's not even the extent of human resource accounting. So we talk about human resource accounting. A person is appointed in an organization, is given a training for which he has paid regularly. After acquiring the expertise and the experience, and he migrates to another company. So what is the cost of replacing that particular individual? We quantify it and we say it is the cost of the one particular human resource which we are replaced. When you are in a position to quantify an individual's efficiency or the caliber or the expertise, why not for the trees which you are chopping off? The trees, what we are chopping off in our lifetime, we can never ever visualize or see or grow that in our lifetime. So this is the greatest tragedy. So we don't give any importance of these aspects. So therefore, we have gone for, apart from traditional accounting system, apart from financial accounting, cost accounting, or management accounting, we have marched ahead of human resource accounting as well as inflation accounting. But there is definitely a dire need for us to think something about the environmental issues and the environmental accounting. Then only there will be some meaning for this. So therefore, the whole world is facing twin problem at this point of time. On one side, we're talking about economic development. On the other hand, we're talking about protecting our own environment. So without these resources, we cannot be economically productive, or we cannot have economic activity we speak. But the result is we erode everything, we exhaust all these resources in no point of time. The benefits, it looks lucrative and attractive, may not be as rich as the natural resources which we are exhausting. That is the damage which we are causing to the whole world. So therefore, we have to think seriously about natural resources accounting, about environmental accounting, about the damages what we're causing to the whole world or the society where we are talking about. As we talk about the social responsibility, corporate social responsibility, they are deriving so many benefits from the society. In turn, they have to do something to society. We speak about that legislation. But here, most of the times, the natural resources itself is exhausted. If it is not the one hamlet or one village or a group of family, they are damaged. It is the whole natural resources we are causing havoc and damage, which we are not responsible. Only we feel that some benefits are derived, and we are not accounting that particular impact of the damage which have caused our own agricultural land, our own fisheries, our own forest resources, our own mineral resources, or our own petroleum and oil resources, or finally water resources. So therefore, researchers should come forward in quantifying the need of the hour, need for this system of accounting, that is the value of natural resources, valuation of natural resources, and valuation of the products which is sold in the market, the cost of it, and the benefit of which, the damages. So three things should be there. We talk about only two aspects now in deriving the topic. but an additional input should be considered. Then only there is some meaning for this kind of effort. So that is the initiation for this system of accounting. So coming to the uses of this environmental accounting, it is very important. It is a need of the hour to accurately track and manage the use of the resources, the energy which you are using, the materials which you are using, the types of materials which you are using, whether they are renewable or non-renewable, or the volume at which we are using, the speed at which we are using, and what would be the fate of those resources which you are using. So when you can make a sincere and a severe attempt, it is possible for us to understand the damages that we are causing and what would be the lifespan of all these things. You know, most of the Arab countries, they are depending on oil resources. How long they can dispose of this oil, crude oil, natural gas. So they predicted something, how long they could last. As a result, they are depending on renewable energy. They are depending on other sources. The whole world should think of generating renewable energy, especially confining to the oil resources. So therefore, we have to visualize the world, how it would be a span of 30 years, 40 years from now, what we are giving to our younger generation. So that is the need of the hour. Once we think of these dimensions, it is definitely possible to evaluate it, to evaluate what is the benefit which you are deriving. Remember, as teachers, as individuals, as homemakers, as parents, whatever we buy from the malls, what we are witnessing today, 90% of them are not at all required for our survival. You can make your own self-study, you can make your own evaluation, you can realize your own self and understand how much we are using, which is not required. On one hand, we are resources, we have money, monetary resources, so that is forcing us to buy without judiciously evaluating whether it is required or not. So when you make a list of it, how much you're consuming every day, what you're consuming, what is the necessity of consuming those things, you'll come to know what is the percentage of unnecessary usage that you've made. So they're manufacturing something, they're trying to create a demand for all those products. So there is a need, definitely need. So we have to quantify that, whether it is vital for our existence or essential for our survival, or it is desirable. So as long as you are not in a position to classify your own requirement into vital, essential, and desirable, I don't think that we'll be awakened consumers. They are creating. You name the thing, it is available in the market. So we are losing our own sense. We are losing our own judicious purchasing behavior. So we tend to purchase. We are becoming the victims of these selling strategies. So we are not just confining to window shopping. We're just seeing it and we're buying it because we can afford to it. So in turn, what we're doing it every day, whatever these services, the product that they're selling, we're buying it, we're consuming it, we're struggling. So that's why often it is called Indian consumers are grumblers and silent sufferers. We grumble for everything. Yes, this is too much, it's costly. We should have sold at this price. I should not have purchased this. It is useless. Ultimately, you say. But you simply grumble and you suffer silently as long as the product is there. So this is what they're encashing. So most of the things, how often or frequently we visit hotels. So these are all the demands they are created for us. We are tempted by the behaviors of these manufacturers and sellers. So therefore, as long as we are not awakened users, awakened consumers, it is very, very difficult for us to judiciously say we are doing the right thing. No manufacturer ever disclosed what is the damage that he is causing, because it's simply selling, using his selling concept, selling skills. Whether it is required for you or not, it is you are the person who has to decide. So as long as we are not self-realized about our own requirement, our own consumption pattern, they keep on selling as long as they can sell. As long as they are buyers, they keep on manufacturing. So therefore, this is the need of the hour. As long as they are not in a position to quantify, or we are not in a position to quantify the requirement, we'll end with saying that we can exhaust it, we can enjoy it for a short time. It is not a perennial enjoyment. It's only hit and run case. Something is sold, something is purchased, and we get some utility or satisfaction, and you say finished. So I mean, just imagine the products which were using 10 years ago is not available in the market now. It is so fast, they're changing the patterns, the behaviors, and the utility that they're creating. So therefore, every day some addition is being added, additional features are added, additional damages they're causing. So those aspects makes us rather incline us to think about quantifying these things in terms of accounting, in terms of social responsibility accounting. If not green accounting, if not environmental accounting, how far we are socially responsible? What is the responsibility? What is the damage that we are causing to the society? All these things should start from within us. We can't preach this, we can't tell this to our student community unless and until we understand it. It doesn't require volumes of literature to educate our own self regarding this. So as long as we are not judicious for our own self, it is again a difficult task for us for mandating this aspect for the corporate world. So this is very, very important. As I said earlier, whatever the fabrics which we are using, of course, we have the latest design of the latest technology which we are using for washing our clothes. It's very easy. It's very we are all depending on that system of washing it. Every day, without our knowledge, there are certain quantified statistics. 1.1 billion people, they are losing water. They lack water. They lack drinking water because of the washing machines which they are using. The amount of water which they are consuming is definitely much, much more than the water which we use it for manual hand wash, which they're not revealing it. They say they're using less water, they're eco-friendly. So simply for the sake of claiming eco-friendly, they claim it is reducing the consumption of water. In reality, it is not so. So price of one washing machine costs 36,000 times of the water what we are using. Just imagine, these are all the published statistics I'm telling you. So it's available, you can check it. So that means without knowing, without understanding the reality of all these things, we are using it. If you are using you are buying a shirt for 1,000 rupees in a market, in the latest design of the fabric of the showroom, it is consuming more than 300 rupees of water if we quantify. Just imagine 1,000 rupees, the price which you're paying, you're so fancy and so beautiful and elegant, and you enjoy the pleasure of wearing it. But it has taken 300 rupees worth of water to wash that fabric and to convert that fabric into that color. So this all, see, 1 liter drinking water costs 20 rupees. When it is processed and it is branded and bottled, we are ready to pay 20 rupees. and millions and gallons have been wasted and flushed into this river. You just imagine what would be the economic value of the water which was wasted. That is the tragedy, because they are not bothered about understanding. Similarly, there are glaring instances which they are given. If you buy one burger, it's an American example. If you buy a burger for $1, they quantified that they're causing the ecology the tune of $3. So you are buying it for $1, you can afford it for $1, fine. But the impact of the damage that you caused for one particular burger, handmade burger, is $3. So therefore, we are happy the manufacturers are selling it for $1, and they are also having some profit out of that. They are getting profit, we are getting pleasure, they're satisfying our want. But each burger that they're selling is causing $3 or $2 damage to the environment. Billions and billions of burgers being sold all over the world. You just imagine how to quantify this damage, how to rectify this. Forget about quantifying. Anyhow, you can quantify and measure it. So as long as we are not in a position to rectify these damages, rather certify our own conduct in our own business, it's very, very difficult to magnify our own business, to glorify our own humanity, glorify our own mankind. So therefore, very, very important to include all these elements or aspects in our curriculum, maybe in different dimensions, whether they are BSc students, or BA students, or commerce students. These things should be added and inserted in the syllabus. Then only there will be some, value addition and value education for our students. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Hope all of you are following what I'm talking to you. See, 7.3 trillion US dollars, 7.3 trillion US dollar, or in terms of percentage, 13% of the global economic output is biodegradable every year. 7.3 or 13%, only 7.3 trillion, around roughly 13% of the global output is biodegradable, means you just imagine 87%. So not even half, not even quarter. So that is what we are causing, whether you buy it or I buy it or children buy it, indirectly we are causing around 87 or 85, roughly around 80% damages to the global output. So therefore, there is a need for us to have or adopt RRR in our life. So we have to reduce the consumption, we have to reuse it, and we have to recycle it. So this is the RRR pyramid, what most of the scholars, the leading universities, they're proposing. So we have to reduce our consumption. That is one of the best things which they suggested. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. As I said, 87% is not biodegradable, means we are not in a position to reuse anything for that matter. It may be plastic, it may be other dangerous materials that you're using. As I said earlier, if we are washing one fabric, we will be using 30,000 liters in our lifetime, as long as we use the cloth. 30,000 liters we are using if we are using the washing machine. So you just imagine what is the volume of fabric generated all over the world, what is the volume of the dyes, the colors, the chemicals that they're using for treating, converting that fabric into different shades or colors, and how they're washing, and where they are putting their affluents of adding chemical poisonous colors to it. So our color fabrics look so pleasant, so beautiful, so elegant, but how it is made, at what cost is made, is very, very important. So 9/10 of the whole world, 9/10 of the whole world will have this problem very soon. This is what the scholars have predicted. In a short span, 9/10 of the whole world will face scarcity, especially in relation with the water. So therefore, this is a very, very important aspect. We should think before we buy anything, before we use anything. So we should adopt conservatism, the principle of conservatism. Only as and when it is needed, fine, then only we can have it. So as I said, it is a VED analysis, whether it is vital, essential, or desirable. Or it may be any other techniques which we adopt for usage of materials or consumption. It may be HML analysis, that is highly priced analysis, moderately priced analysis, or very low price analysis. So some products are very low priced, may not be so dangerous, whereas other products are very highly priced because consumers they prefer that. Though it is costly, people are buying it. It has undergone so many phases for treatment, and it is highly causing the damages at a higher rate, higher degree. So we have to brand those things, categorize them into highly damaging products, moderately damaging products, damaging in a lower grade, very low damages to society, whether they are highly priced, or moderately priced, or very low priced. So therefore, we should also adopt one more technique called golf analysis. So what is the source of getting these raw materials? Whether we are exclusively depending on the government sources, whether we are procuring those manufacturing products or raw materials or the inputs from the other sources. If we are other sources, we are not regulated. As a result, definitely we cause damage. Or if it is local sources, and it is L, L stands for local, and F stands for foreign resources. So what is the need for us to use the raw materials from foreign resources, foreign suppliers, or foreign countries? So what is the impact of all these? Apart from economic impact, apart from monetary impact, they are also directly contributing for the damages of the environment. So therefore, this is a triggering aspect. It is not confined to the definitions of so and so. He quoted environmental accounting like this, or I have quoted like this. It is not criticizing or somebody's definition or commenting on it. It is the need of the hour to evaluate our own self. Then only we can think something in these lines. Otherwise, this problem is a perennial problem, and it is going to be an eternal problem. So this is only the glimpse what I'm talking to you. So there are volumes and volumes of literature available regarding green accounting, regarding green marketing, regarding environmental accounting, regarding the costs and the benefits, the damages what we are causing to this the Mother Earth. So therefore, I'm just triggering you and just opening up your mindset to understand the reality of our consumption pattern, understand the reality of the market where you are living in, understand the reality of the strategies that they are adopting to sell their products, what is definitely not needed for us. Most of the things, as I said, they given examples, we are just using just because it's available in the market. Imagine if those things are not available in the market. If Pepsi is not there, Coke is not there, definitely don't die. That will be much more comfortable enjoying our own natural resources. So they used all these things, strategy, maybe promotion strategy. By using those things, they made Sachin Tendulkar as the richest, or the Mahendra Dhoni as the richer man. But at what cost they are making them richer, and we are spoiling our own society. That is what I wanted to talk to you. Is only the glimpse of the areas in which we are supposed to speak or supposed to study. So now we'll have a detailed discussion instead of talking monotony or a monotonous talk. Let us have some discussion regarding this, and I'll give the PPTs also. I'll share with your coordinator. You can take the printouts and study the reality of environmental accounting. So now I just want to interact with you in understanding the variations that we are causing to this the Mother Earth or the climate. What are the damages that we are causing? So we can afford air conditioners. So we need air conditioners. We are creating such a environment where we are not getting the cool breeze. To have that cool breeze, again we are going for one more mechanical system. We are going for air conditioners, and that air conditioner, what we are using is causing 2% increased temperature all over the world. The whole world is witnessing a drastic increase in the climate temperature by 2% because we are using more and more air conditioners. So what we wanted to cool our environment is becoming very hard because of our own mistakes, our own damages, what we are causing to the society. So therefore, I just open up yourself and understand the reality of the damages that we are likely to cause as causing the global scenario. So with this, we'll start discussing in case any particular issue related to environmental accounting. We'll take 10 minutes regarding this discussion. Or I will, if there are no specific issues or doubts, we'll continue further regarding the other dimensions of environmental accounting. Hope it's audible to all of you. Professor Prem Kumar, is it audible?
Sir?
Audible, sir, audible.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay, fine. So this is what my insight into this area. We had to think judiciously, rationally in implementing or suggesting certain standards for the damages that manufacturers are causing, for the service providers are causing. They're so happy we book everything in Amazon and other things, it will be delivered to your doorstep. At what cost if they are delivered to your doorsteps? So this is it's very simple to make a payment, Google Pay or Phone Pay or something like that. But in reality, we are causing a lot of damage to the whole world. If we can walk ourselves to the malls and the stores, is it not possible to save the energy? Is it not possible to save the resources? You may rather you can tell me that, contradict that my statement that we are generating economic activity. The economic activity generated are much costlier than the damages what we are directly causing to the society. So we have to visualize in that dimension. Then only there will be some meaningful understanding of the future generation or for the future generation. Otherwise, we say something, we do something, we treat something. So there should be some kind of consistency in our own buying pattern, in our own distribution pattern, consuming pattern. So indirectly, all these reflects on the production pattern of any manufacturing concern. As I said, best example is Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Outrightly, we can reject that. So we can lead a much more comfortable life. We can check the damages, what they cause. Billions of bottles being trashed. They are not recycled most of the times. The part of that is recycled. So, though it is not required, as I said, it is not essential. But we are going for it. Sending money to foreign nationals. I mean, they are earning profits out of it. So this is all the reality. They are not a myth anymore. They are the reality of our own mistakes, what we are causing. Okay. So with any other doubt you have, please ask me. I'm ready to discuss with you. So far, We talk about only trading account, profit and loss account. I have to prepare a balance sheet as a commerce man. I can say like that. We insist that it should be tallied. Financially, in terms of monetary value, there are assets and liabilities and tallied, and we say accounting equation is correct. Corrected, they are corrected values only, but we are not in a position to reveal the real damages, what they're caused. See, there is a complete erosion of the services, what they are doing, the quality, what they are offering. We don't know the quality, we can't measure the quality because there is no yardstick for us. So whatever is being sold, whatever is being offered, we're consuming it without reiterating for our own mistakes. As I said, we'll be grumbling throughout our life and we'll be suffering. So first and the foremost thing, we should become the awakened and the enlightened consumers. So then only it is possible for us to speak something in this area. As long as we are not aware of our own rights. See, I'm paying. You may say, it's my own money. Fine, it's your own money, but what is the damage that you have caused to society by consuming this, rather by making the seller to sell this in the market? So if you can think on those lines, there is a new dimension, there will be a paradigm shift in our own thinking, in our own approach to the field of environmental accounting. So therefore, I sincerely request all of you to educate this to our own younger generation. In your classroom, make this, though it is not there in the syllabus, you don't mind, at least to spare 1 hour and educate our own younger generation about these values, what we are losing in terms of the damages what we're causing to the society or to the environment. Okay, is it fine for all of you?
Yes,
So,
sir. Yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, sir. You are.
Yeah, please continue.
It is the time. If there are no questions, someone please propose vote of thanks.